Stop, 5G, stop, 5G, stop.
I am Maurizio Martucci, journalist, writer, author of books on electrosensitivity and the dark sides of the digital future. I am also the national spokesman of the Italian alliance Stop 5G and have spoken several times at the Italian and European parliaments.
Volte intervenuto sia al Parlamento italiano che in quello europeo. Insieme a medici, scienziati, avvocati e una vasta
Together with doctors, scientists, lawyers, and a vast network of citizens, associations, local rallies and movements, since 2018, every day we have been fighting to oppose the advance of the Internet of Things, and now bodies too. This video is not only a denunciation, but also an appeal at an international level. It is a denunciation because in Italy, with general indifference, we are threatened by a real electromagnetic radiation coup d'etat, promoted by telcos lobbies with the complicity of our government and parliament.
dalla lobby delle telco con la complicità del nostro governo e di parte del nostro Parlamento. Una serie di emendamenti
A
presentati
series of amendments presented in the last few days are calling for the electromagnetic radiation exposure limit to be raised from 6 volt meter to 61 volt meter throughout the country. If approved, one of the most cautious safety standards in Europe and in the world, even though not 100% protective, would be swept away. Local antenna regulations would be made invalid, totally overturning the legitimate authorities of municipalities and mayors. The regulation would be given the green light to allow for ubiquitous placement of antennas and enable telcos to dangerously impact public lands and endanger public health and safety, as well as to cause catastrophic damage to the environment.
potenziali danni anche all'ambiente. Persino la proprietà privata sarebbe quindi minacciata in quanto
Even private property would be threatened, as this measure would allow overnight land and home expropriation to have new antennas installed, without any constraints or breaks. It is also very important to underline that these amendments come after the request by Astel, the telcos wing of Confindustria, the Italian industrial lobby, to increase the electromagnetic radiation exposure thresholds 110 times higher than at present in order to facilitate the development of 5G radiation infrastructures. This is happening in the silence of the official mainstream, in the disinterest of all the political parties and in the distraction of the public opinion, first focused on the COVID-19 emergency and now on war in Ukraine.
del mainstream, nel disinteresse di tutti i partiti politici parlamentari e nella distrazione dell'opinione pubblica, prima concentrata.
Our 6 volt per meter law, in force in Italy for over 24 years, was mainly conceived by legislators to minimize health hazard, in compliance with the recommendation of European Community stating that member states are entitled under the treaty to provide a higher level of protection. It follows that any attempt to adapt this law to 5G requirements for more microwave radiation exposure via more antennas betrays the law and the legislator's original intent.
Del trattato di fornire un livello di protezione più elevato. Ne consegue che qualsiasi tentativo di adattare questa norma ai requisiti del 5G
Unfortunately, this has already happened when this very law was amended by actually raising the 6 volt per meter limit with the introduction on 24-hour measurement instead of the 6-minute maximum peak, as it was originally. We are aware of the reports provided by the Bioinitiative Group and the European Parliament in its 2009 resolution and the Council of Europe Assembly in its resolution 1915 of 2011, where governments are invited to lower the legal exposure limit to 0.6 volt per meter in the immediate term and 0.2 volt per meter in the long term, since effects on living organisms are scientifically established as harmful at 0.002 volt per meter.
I limiti legali di esposizione a 0,6 volt per metro nell'immediato e 0,2 volt per metro nel lungo termine, perché gli
A
effetti
debate was promoted within the European Commission, where the panel of the Future and Science of Technology, STOA, questioned the reliability of the policies laid down by the International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection, took in due consideration the result of the research on the carcinogenicity of non-ionizing radiofrequency microwaves, carried out by the Ramazzini Institute. These results were so important as to bring the International Agency for Research on Cancer to re-evaluate the electromagnetic radiation classification as a carcinogen by 2024.
qui in Italia e dal National Toxicology Program in America. Questi risultati così importanti sono serviti per portare l'Agenzia internazionale.
We are also aware of the important judgment passed by the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit against the Federal Communication Commission, thanks to the decisive action of the Environmental Health Trust with the help of other influential associations. The COVID-19 sanitary emergency has worsened the whole scenario. Since its beginning in 2019, the population has been heavily exposed to electromagnetic radiations due to working from home and homeschooling without being provided with safety guidelines to protect their health, especially children.
Al lavoro da casa, smart working e all'istruzione scolastica domiciliare, la DAD.
During lockdowns, we witnessed the accelerated installation of a multitude of new 5G antennas, with the official mainstream chorally exalting the advantages of these innovative technologies in all fields, medicine included. The ongoing sanitary emergency has exposed aspects far beyond sanitary, such as the nefarious interconnection between health and the so-called smart grid, aimed at connecting the Internet of Things and, worst of all, the Internet of Bodies.
La salute e le cosiddette griglie intelligenti smart volte a connettere l'Internet delle cose e peggio ancora, domani
In Italy, we have collected over 64,500 signatures on a petition to stop 5G, and I myself delivered them to our Ministry of Health by hand. We have held numerous conferences on a national and international level, also at the Italian Parliament in Rome and at the European Parliament in Brussels, together with authoritative doctors and scientists.
Anche nel Parlamento italiano a Roma e nel Parlamento europeo a Bruxelles, insieme ad autorevoli medici e scienziati.
We have promoted street demonstrations all over the country. More than 600 municipalities had banned 5G in their cities, but the government gagged at the protest with an anti-liberty law drafted by a former CEO of Vodafone Europe and former advisor to Verizon, now a minister, named Vittorio Colau.
Appela nel crowdfunding 5G.
In Italy, conflicts of interest abound, but we are not giving up, and that is why we are raising funds on EPLA in the crowdfunding. 5G on trial, protection for all citizens, to support the legal costs for the actions we will be taking to ask the judiciary to stop 5G and recognize electrosensitivity. In addition, in the last few days, Stop 5G activists have started a sit-in outside the Chamber of Deputies and the Senate in Rome with banners and flags to urge politicians to stop the electromagnetic radiation. Last year, 135 citizens went on hunger strike for 18 days to raise this issue at institutional, political and media levels.
Possibile, ci mettiamo il cuore e l'anima perché crediamo.
We do everything we can. We put our heart and soul into it because we believe in what we do. Having said that, as Italian Alliance Stop 5G, we appeal to the international community, to the network and associations against electrosmog pollution and allies against 5G microwave radiation around the world.
Vi chiediamo di unirvi a noi, vi chiediamo di sostenerci in questi giorni di lotta dura per...
We ask you to join us in these days of struggle to denounce the attempted electromagnetic coup in Italy, a maneuver that could create a dangerous precedent for the whole world. Help us, let's win this case. What happens today in Italy could happen tomorrow in your countries.
Potrebbe accadere domani nei vostri paesi. In questa fase storica molto difficile,
In this very difficult historical phase, we must unite our best forces to take back what belongs to us and leave future generation a better world than the one we have found, and not the other way around, in defense of health, rights and freedoms. Thank you for your attention.
difesa dei diritti e in difesa delle libertà. Grazie per l'attenzione.
Stop, G, stop, G, stop.